I'm here today with Reverend Samuel Stone of Alta Vista, who about 10 years ago, which puts it back in the early 1980s, introduced me to a very interesting site down along the Banister River, which had been familiar to him since he was just a little fellow. And we got to talking about this site because of our mutual interest in Indians and in Native American artifacts. This particular site was where there is a remarkable Native American fish weir there along the Banister River near Mount Airy in northern Pennsylvania County. And as I recall, you were down there with your wife at a planetarium program, and I had some slides of other fish weirs, perhaps in the county, especially the one down at Markham, and you invited me to come up and look at the beautiful weir next to your property there. And then I found myself down in a channel that somebody had dug many years ago that was beside the river, and I realized that there was evidence of some old industry down there of some kind. And that's how it all began, as far as my interest in this particular site. And the years have gone by, and here in 1992 and early 1993, at your invitation, we've been back down there again to look at the site and this early Native American industry and early American industry, both in the same location. So if you could tell us a little bit about your connection to that site and how your family has been involved with it.
Well, I'm like old Bro Rabbit. I was bred and born down there. That land is my home place. I was the fifth generation, I guess, of people that had lived there.
Right.
And, well, as I say, I was born on the farm, of which this is a part of, and which the weir joined on our side of the river. Of course, the other side is the other fellow's place over there, but that country is just home to me.
Right.
Well, I was there. We cultivated the land. We raised cattle down there. I learned to swim in what would have been the mill pond or the old mill.
Right.
My first experience, well, not the first, yeah, I reckon my first experience in the river, maybe. The only time we ever persuaded, my brothers and I ever persuaded my father to go with us swimming. He went, he wouldn't go swimming, but we boys were in, and my older brother carried me across the river to the shallow water over on the other side.
Right.
And I was a little fellow, I don't know how old, but I fell over backwards. And I tried to drink the river dry before anybody got up, but I wasn't in deep enough water that I couldn't hear Father call my older brother Jimmy and tell him to go get me. And I got up, of course, and I'd swallowed a whole lot of water. But anyway, that's the boyhood memory of that place. The mill, of course, was before my day. That was an old original growth pine, one of those big old fellows, standing not far from the mill site. That the people of, well, my father particularly, I suppose, had cut notches in the bark in the time of high water.
Right.
And I remember riding behind him on horseback once to that site, and he showed me the old pine, and I saw it many times later, and he showed me the marks that had been cut. And the flood of 1912 was one of the higher ones, if not the highest one on the place. Just below the dam, 20 steps below the dam, that my father killed fish. And I took his 32 rifle down there one day, and I was going to kill me a fish. Well, I couldn't see a fish, but I blazed away down in the water, and the thing knocked me. I was on a tree leaning over the water. It knocked me over the water, over the tree, and into the water. I didn't look for any fish. I grabbed the gun and came on home.
At this point, we're going to cut to a conversation with Mr. Herman Melton about our hopes for investigating that area during the fall of 1992 and winter of 1992.